Deputy Secretary for Civil Rights for Governor Cuomo. What that means is I oversee civil rights policy throughout the state. I work with state agencies, I work with not-for-profits, I work with for-profits in addressing civil rights issues. In addition to that, I work on labor relations issues and employee benefits as well. I'm here today to talk to you about marriage equality. I'm here today to talk to you about the governor's commitment to making sure that marriage equality becomes a reality in New York. But before I really talk about the governor, I want to talk about you. And I've been in this room for 5 minutes, and this is a beautiful array that is being reflected here. And often people talk about what does a gay person look like, right? And you're here today to represent that there's no such thing as a template for a gay person. Communicating that to the legislators is extremely important. You are exercising your rights, your right that you have to communicate with the electorate. And keep in mind that all of us in this world do not have that right. Specifically, some of you may have heard about the story, and I'm going to read a piece of it from the New York Times. As the most outspoken gay rights advocate in Uganda, a country where homophobia is so severe that Parliament is considering a bill to execute gay people, Mr. Cato had received a stream of death threats, his friend said. A few months ago, a Ugandan newspaper ran an anti-gay diatribe with Mr. Cato's picture on the front page under the banner urging, "Hang them." On Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Cato was beaten to death with a hammer in his rough and tumble neighborhood. Police officials were quick to chalk off the motive to robbery, but members of the small and quietly besieged gay community in Uganda suspect otherwise. Now, I tell you that story to drive home the point that it's extremely important that you're here, exercising your liberty interests, your right to communicate with people that you elected to represent you on an issue that is of huge social significance. Our office, the governor's office, is committed to making marriage equality happen in this state. We're committed to doing that. So you might say, well, what does that mean? What does that commitment mean? Well, a few things. One, he hired Eric Botcher. Who will serve as our community organizer, working with a number of you. He also hired me. I'm a lawyer. I worked at Lambda Legal for 3 years representing LGBT people around the country on HIV discrimination, harassment in schools, marriage cases, transgender rights, a number of different issues for the past 3 years. I worked at the Division of Human Rights working on HIV, working on LGBT issues as well. And now I'm in the governor's office representing him on civil rights issues, including marriage equality. In addition to that, the governor has made a commitment to work with the legislature to make sure that this happens. Now, we have a number of LGBT, openly gay LGBT members of the legislature that are also going to work with us to make this happen. Is this going to be easy? I don't know. We're beginning a process, and we were all extremely disappointed last year. I know I was extremely disappointed, and I'm sure many of you were as well. Our goal is to make sure that we don't repeat last year. And the fact that you're here, the fact that you're showing your faces, the fact that you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to drive to Albany, it's extremely important. It's not only important to us, our office, but it's going to be important to the legislature, to the members of the legislature that you're meeting with, communicating to them why this is important. And I want to just say in closing that keep in mind, always keep in mind that the governor's office is standing with you. We're standing with you to make sure that this becomes a reality this year. Thank you.